What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000, back in the place to be with the MMO Hopper First Impression Let's Play series. Today we're taking a look at a title called 7 Nights. This is an Android title. Hold up, wait, before you freak out, let me explain myself. So I had to go on a trip. It was gonna be a flight that had Wi-Fi. Of course, the airport has Wi-Fi. I had some super stupid long layovers. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna download a game. I didn't really wanna bring my laptop and I don't have a Nintendo DS, but I do have a cell phone. Now, prior to this trip, I have no games on my cell phone at all. I don't have Hearthstone on my phone. I have those Clash of Titans. I don't have any of those games on my phone. This is like my first foray into this Android market. So I'm looking around and I saw this game called 7 Nights. It had 5 million downloads. So I decided to download it and play it while I was on my trip. And now I'm bringing you a video kind of telling you about it after the fact. Now, as far as the MMO Hopper goes, I might occasionally play some mobile games on the channel. Just really depends on the title itself. I highly doubt it will be a regular thing. I think I'm gonna have maybe a threshold that the mobile title has to have at least 5 million downloads, because there is so much trash, so much garbage on the mobile store that if you maybe have a bar that's 5 million and above, you eliminate about 98% of the trash, and then you can kind of be, you know, really strategic about which games you kind of look at and what games I'm gonna cover. So don't freak out, mobile's not gonna take over this channel. But before we even start talking about this this title, did you know that mobile this year has passed PC sales? There's more money in mobile now than in PC. That includes League of Legends, Dota, all of Steam. That just blows my mind that there's so much money floating around these titles. So, with all that disclaimer crap being said, what the heck is 7 Nights? So, if you've been watching your screen, this game plays itself. It's on ×2 speed. It does all the abilities by itself. It does all the healing by itself. All of the combat done in dungeons, in PvP, in guild wars, everything is done automatically. You have no input whatsoever. Now you can turn it off and do it manually, but most people don't. Most people kind of walk around with their phone in their pocket, and this is playing its heart out all throughout the day. As you can see, I have a little thing called auto repeat on, and basically, as long as I have the keys for it, which I will talk about in a little bit, it will continually fight over and over and over. Right now, I'm not even touching the keyboard. I'm talking to you hands-free, but don't worry about where my hands are. Just pay attention to the video. Now, why would anyone want to play these games if you have absolutely no input on combat? You just sit there and play it by itself. Why would you even play this game? So, after spending, you know, forced hours playing this game like I had to since I was on a flight and I had nothing else to do, I kind of played this game and I realized why people like these types of games. It has nothing to do with combat. Absolutely nothing. I think the appeal for these games is the management feature outside of combat. And this is why, you know, games like Football Manager are popular, to a lesser degree, theme park tycoon games, or even like the NBA 2K and the Madden titles that have been adding ownership features and franchise features over the years. People like to manage things. And when I kind of got that mindset, I'm like, oh, well, this is kind of like an RPG manager. People are managing their characters, upgrading their gear, min-maxing them, and then sending the characters out in the world and seeing how they perform. Exactly how you would like in an NBA game where you set the ticket prices and you draft players and you set their salary caps and then you just let them go play. It's kind of the same exact concept, just in an RPG mindset. So when I started thinking about it in those terms, I was able to accept the game a little bit more for what it was and really started to enjoy min-maxing my characters and making them as strong as possible. Just kind of like a side note, back when I used to play JRPGs a long time ago, I ain't got time to play JRPGs anymore, but back in the days, like when I was playing like, you know, all the Final Fantasy games and the Breath of Fire games, I was the type of person that would never go into a dungeon or go into the next phase of the game unless I had all of the equipment from the weapon and armor store. Like, I got into a town and I wanted to buy all of the gear. I wanted everything before I went into the next dungeon, because I wanted to kind of be overpowered in a sense. So I can see why people like these games. So with all that being said on how much I love to min-max, run dungeons, collect things, how much I dig the little animations and the characters and the design behind the title, I must really, really like this game, right? Unfortunately, that is not true. At this screen right here, this is where the Android store rears its ugly, disgusting, decaying head. Oh, Android mobile market. I understand why you guys make so much money now. I get it. I get it. So, first things first, this game did not make me open my wallet at all. And it's not because I'm cheap. I know there might be some people out there be like, oh, you just want to play games for free. I play tons of free-to-play games, and tons of free-to-play games have gotten my money. Mostly because I felt like I wanted to give them my money. In this game right here, I feel like they're trying to take my money. It's a totally different feeling when you give your money versus somebody trying to take it from you. And that's just kind of how I feel when I play this game. So let's kind of go through a few of the different things here and kind of give you an overview of the title itself. So in order to run dungeons, you need to have keys. Now, keys do regenerate over time, but right now my maximum is 9 keys. So even if I stop playing for a week, I'm only gonna have 9 keys when I come back. So the primary way to buy keys, of course, is with the cash shop currency, rubies. 100 rubies gets you 110 keys. Now, 100 rubies, however, is not a denomination that you can actually get right out of the bat. Let's see if it's over here somewhere. Nope. There is no 100 ruby denomination. So you either have to go with 72 or up to 190, which is 20 bucks. Now, 20 bucks to me, still totally fair. I'll give you 20 bucks for a game. If I'm gonna play it, you know, day in and day out, hours and hours at a time, $19 is not an unfair price to ask for a title. Unfortunately, in a game like this, your $19 doesn't go very far. So you get 100 keys. If you turn on that auto feature and go to sleep, those 100 keys are gone like that. Before you even get fully asleep, those keys will be gone. So 100 keys doesn't really go very far. And if you do like a grinding session once a day, you're spending like $20 a day. Now, of course, you don't have to do that. Of course, you don't have to do it, but the game kind of encourages you to grind. In order to power up your heroes, let's kind of show you a quick little rundown of this real quick. So in order to power up your heroes, you have to loot other heroes. In order to get heroes as loot, you have to run dungeons. The more dungeons you run, the more heroes you get, the more you can feed the heroes that you want to actually play with. So I'm just gonna kind of use this as an example. I feed this creature into him. This will give me a little power up, and it costs me 6,700 gold here. Now, this gets really, really expensive. So expensive that I've gotten to the point where I had a ton of creatures to basically power up, but I didn't have enough gold to actually make it happen. So guess what? Guess what? In order to buy gold, you gotta go get some more rubies. So 500 rubies will give you 500,000 gold. Well, actually, 700,000 gold for 500 rubies. How much is 500 rubies? How much does that cost? Oh man, there is no denomination for 500 rubies. Sorry. So you gotta spend $80. $80 to get that package. And like I said, the game, it tries to be really friendly. It'll give you some free rupees here and free rupees there. It'll give you some free heroes and it'll give you some free weapons and armor. But all it's trying to do is trying to get you to the point where you are so committed to this game that $100 doesn't seem like a lot of money, but it is for something that it just doesn't go a long way. And I'm not even saying that $100 is unreasonable. Like, people buy collector's editions of games for $100 and $120, and they only play those games for like 60 hours. What I'm saying is that the game just wants your money. It's trying to take it, and it doesn't feel like it gives you as much back, in my humble opinion. Now, there's other ways to go about buying heroes as well. So let's say you're running dungeons and you're just really unlucky and you're not getting a lot of hero drops, which, you know, you're gonna get hero drops, but let's just say you need some higher level hero drops. Well, once again, rubies, here you go. 1 hero equals 250 rubies, or actually, I'm sorry. So is this 10? Oh, I'm sorry. So 11 heroes for 250 rubies. So a little bit more fair, but barely. Let's see what we got here. How many rubies do I have? I have 28. Let's buy 1 hero here. Now these rubies are free. Like I said, you do get a small trickle of rubies throughout the game. And let's see what I got here. So I got a 3-star hero right there. And I'll kind of show you how what I was telling you about earlier, how fast the costs ramp up here. So right there, 1,300, barely, I'm not even close to +5 yet. So it gets really expensive really fast. I can't imagine how expensive it's going to be to level up this character right here, who they gave me for free. So when I first started the game and all my heroes were like rank 1, rank 2, they turned around and gave me a rank 6 hero who's basically super overpowered. But I know it's going to get to the point where I want to upgrade her up and it's going to be super expensive. Right now, look at that. Doesn't even move. It barely even moves. And it just costed me 28,000 gold. And I just can't imagine getting her to +5. That's going to be insane. It's either going to take me an insane amount of time or an insane amount of money. And like I said before, and I'm going to keep kind of drilling this point home, I don't mind giving you a little bit of money, but man, it does not go far in this game at all. Now, let's add a little bit more insult to injury. So let's say I want to use this character right here, and I want to use him as basically fodder to level up another character. So I'm like, you know what? I got some really good gear on him, which I do. I want to go ahead and take this gear off and give it to somebody else because I'm just going to disenchant this guy anyway. So let's go ahead and take this off. Oh, wait. I need 5 topazes to unequip gear? Well, how do I get topazes? I already know the answer. How do I get topazes? How do I do that? Let's go into the store here. Topaz. Oh, wait a minute. There's no way to just buy topazes? Well, how do I get topazes? Oh, they come as bonuses in rupee sales. Oh, so 100 topazes equals $99.99. Okay, all right. So how much, let's say, for example, I really like this gear, and I want to take that off. How much is that? 5 topazes? 5 topazes? Just to unequip some gear? Wait, let's go back here real quick. This is kind of off the cuff a little bit, but I want to see. So 5 topazes. So $8 to unequip 1 piece of gear. Oh my God. And like I said, I kind of really enjoyed my time with this game. I wasn't bored. I was having fun. Early on in the game when all the stuff is kind of just coming at you and they're giving you so many free things, you're feeling good about yourself. But man, you eventually get to a point where it is insane to continue on in a game like this. Now, so let's sum up my final thoughts about Seven Nights before I get all upset about all these rubies and cash grabs that this game is filled with. Seven Nights accomplished one big thing for me. It opened up my eyes to this concept of game. A week ago, if you'd have told me about an autoplay RPG, I would have laughed at you. I would have called you a fake gamer and all kinds of other things. But after playing it, after sitting with it, after kind of understanding the appeal and kind of changing my mindset on the game, the people that play these games and the people that enjoy these games don't play them for the combat. They play them for all the stuff outside of combat, making their characters as powerful as possible and kind of sitting back like a proud dad and watching your team destroy people. And there's tons of games in the world where you can take control of combat. Not all games have to be about combat, and that's something I kind of learned playing Seven Nights. Unfortunately, I just hope that a real developer one day picks up a title like this or a concept like this and makes it a little less microtransaction-y, a little less in your face about trying to take your money and try to make this game a real concept that can really take off. Now, I'm not saying these games aren't popular. 5 million downloads and one of the highest grossing games on the Android store definitely says that this is a very popular title and people are okay with spending money. But all I'm saying that this game, I'm not going to keep playing it, unfortunately. This game will not be on my phone any longer. But I will keep my eye open for a game like it that is a little less scummy, a little less fair, that I don't mind giving them my money as opposed to them trying to steal it from me. And that's my final thought on that one. Once again, my name is FG3000. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for all things MMO, MOBA, and mobile. I'll see you next video. Later.